Cavaliers are one of the most riveting and compelling stories in all of college football. Folks, there's more than just burgeoning romance in the air. There's a tangible and palpable aroma of victory, of winning. Look at this. In the second Saturday in November, the Cavaliers are undefeated, unconquered, unblemished, 5-0 in ACC play. Let's take a little bit of inventory in the ACC. They're undefeated, but there are several other teams with just one loss. Miami with a win a moment ago in a game you just saw on ESPN. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones. Quinn Kesnick down in the field. He'll be joining us in just a moment. Glad you decided to tap in. Roddy, we got one of the top offenses in the ACC in Virginia, the masters of the cardiac arrest finishes, and they've won 7 in a row. They lean into 3 key offensive players.
They really do. It's been a resilient group for this Virginia team, and that offense is really powered by a big 3 that you mentioned, Mark. Chandler Morris, the quarterback, the transfer from North Texas, well-traveled. He's experienced, and when he gets the ball out on time, he's as good as any quarterback in this league. Jamari Taylor, great contact balance at running back with a little bit of burst, and then Trell Harris, down the field threat, big-time speed from number 11 out wide.
Jake Dickert, the head coach of Wake Forest, has those guys at the top of the scout. Here's what he had to say to his team a moment ago.
This is why we are who we are. For this moment right here, man. One play at a time, whatever it takes. Whatever is required of you, let's go get it done together, man. Let's go. All in here together. Okay, say it like you mean it. All we got. All we need.
Wake Forest trying to bounce back after a disheartening loss a week ago against Florida State. We're going to set the tone with Quint on the field when we come back to Charlottesville. And welcome back, everyone, to Charlottesville. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Experian. Folks, this is the ACC on ESPN with the Cavaliers in the middle of a 7-game winning streak in front of a sellout crowd here at Scott Stadium. Let's go downstairs to Q.
Virginia head coach Tony Elliott, he sets the tone, and he is the architect of the biggest transformation in college football nationally this season. 45 years old in his 4th year. The first 3 years here were not good. 3 wins, and 5 wins. He said, I either evolve or perish. Well, he chose to evolve. He hit the portal, brings in 30 new players, and all of a sudden, this team has found a way to win ball games. He started his career at South Carolina State working for Buddy Pugh. You know him because he was a member of 2 championship teams at Clemson with Dabo Swinney. And here he is now in year 4. He's got this team sitting atop the ACC. He says, we've learned how to find success. Tonight, Mark, it's about managing success.
Yeah, certainly one of the leading candidates for Coach of the Year in the conference, if not one of the candidates nationally as well. Great vibe and atmosphere here in Charlottesville tonight. Cavaliers coming off another close win last week out on the West Coast in Berkeley, California. 31-21 winners against Cal. Virginia won the toss, deferring to the second half. Wake Forest will get the football first. Elijah Slybeck puts toe to leather. We are underway. Carlos Hernandez watches it go out of the back of the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 for quarterback Robbie Ashford from the 25-yard line. He's completing 59% of his passes on the season. Almost 1,300 yards passing. 3 touchdowns against 5 interceptions. And there's a good chance that we can actually see a couple of guys playing that quarterback position tonight for Wake Forest.
For Robbie Ashford, he's just got to keep the game in front of him. Hold on to the football. Wake Forest has had an issue with fumbles the last 2 games. But if Robbie Ashford can put together some good drives, I mean, he is as talented a quarterback as there is across the country. Physically, he's just got to be consistent.
on first down, keeps it. Ashford with a nice burst down to the 44-yard line, moves the chains, and we were wondering how exactly he was going to respond after last week's disappointment.
And it's the fake to Damon Claiborne that gets everything going. You see the fast flow from the linebackers out of the box. It clears the lane for Robbie Ashford. One of the big reasons he's the starter is because of the danger with his legs. And he was a half tackle away from being to the house on that one.
Ran for 60 yards on the ground last week. Hands it off to Damon Claiborne, their leading rusher, with almost 640 yards coming in. Picked up 3 there. K-Mac making the tackle on the play for the Cavaliers. Second down and about 7 to go for Wake Forest. 5-3 on the season. There's the numbers on Claiborne.
They're going to have to get Damon Claiborne going if they're going to win this one.
Ashford tries to step up, delivers it. Got a man in traffic, and it's knocked away at the 5-yard line. Well defended by Jordan Robinson. Knocked it away from Burkhalter. Jake Dickert, the head coach of Wake Forest in his first season on the sidelines, erstwhile of Washington State, brought a couple of players with him from the Palouse.
And he made it clear that this season was not going to be a rebuild. This season was not going to be a lost season, and he's got his team sitting at 5-3. But a big third down here. Robbie Ashford's legs coming big.
Going to run it into the boundary on a predetermined quarterback run, coming up short of the first down at the 50-yard line. Rickert making the tackle on the play, a gain of 3 yards, and it'll be 4th down for the Demon Deacons.
It's a really nice job by that Virginia defense. Just watch the way they set the edge with the defensive end. It's such a nice job. They're trying to pin that defensive end in and pull those guys around. One of the ways you disturb pin and pull is by not getting cracked, by not getting pinned in by that defensive end. That was a really nice job of crossing the face of the wide receiver to make it muddied up out there on the perimeter.
Joseph punting to Cam Ross, who is one of the more dangerous returners in the conference. It's blocked, they got it! It was snuffed out and recovered at the 23-yard line by Virginia. Cam Robinson came in and got his hands up.
Well, Cam Robinson is going to be here on the edge, and he's just going to come right past that shield and block this punt. It's just a really nice job by Robinson getting off the block. And of course it's Cam Robinson. He's Johnny on the spot all the time. 2 touchdowns so far this year. You can see the vertical and the athleticism. Talk about playmakers. Cam Robinson's one of the best ones in the ACC.
Big one. Chandler Morris out of the shotgun, got it out quickly, complete at the 20-yard line to Cam Ross. Picked up 4 yards on the play. Prunty made the tackle on the play. Chandler Morris, in his first meeting with his team after signing with them out of the portal, told them, hey, listen, I want to win a conference championship. I didn't come all the way to Virginia as a Texas boy to win 5 or 6 games and be mediocre. He's been purposeful ever since stepping on campus. And it's incomplete in the end zone, intended for Edgerrin. Working against Ladarius Webb.
We thought this Virginia offense was going to attack number 20, Ladarius Webb, coming in. He struggled a little bit last week at times against Deuce Robinson, who's one of the best receivers in the ACC, but they're testing that early. A little bit of miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
Sets up a 3rd down and 6. Bunch formation to the top of your screen. Langston Hardy jumped off sides. A clear view there for Wake Forest.
Outside defense, number 11, moving in the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
May remember his dad, Kevin Hardy, played in the NFL for several years.
And it puts Virginia in a situation, 3rd and 6. It's not a big run down. Now 3rd and 1, and Virginia's got everything. They can run the ball with Jamari Taylor. The legs of Chandler Morris are dangerous as you get into the red zone and down towards the goal line. The whole playbook at their disposal now.
They hand it off and nowhere to go that time for Jamari Taylor. He was stopped way short of the first down. He'll actually lose 2 yards. And great penetration by Devon Patterson, the star DB, the safety. He's impactful and has been.
Devon Patterson's going to be right here, and you're going to get 2 blocks coming out. And Devon Patterson just shoots the gap to be able to get to Jamari Taylor before he's able to even get started. Taylor actually makes a miss to start, but then the recovery by Dylan Hazen forces the field goal attempt.
Will Bettridge in to attempt this field goal from 34 yards out. 13 of 17 on the year, and he drills it through. So the Cavaliers capitalize on the blocked punt and get a field goal out of it with 11:48 to go in the opening quarter. This was the key moment. And Tony Elliott's team leading when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, to Charlottesville. There's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? Well, the student section is jumping right now, Roddy, after that block punt, which led to a field goal. This Virginia Cavaliers squad has been 60 thrills a minute for most of this football season, as Wake Forest will get it again, 1st and 10 from where they started their previous drive at their own 25. They've won 5 of the last 6 games by 1 score.
And the one they didn't win by 1 score was a 1-score game with 40 seconds left in the game before Cam Robinson pick 6 made that a 10-point win over Cal a week ago. Mentioned those 1-score games. 3 of them went to overtime. Florida State double overtime. This has been a team that has had a winning DNA, albeit in very dramatic fashion.
Yeah. 1st down and 10 for the Demon Deacons. Robbie Ashford out of the shotgun. And hand it off over the left side. Damon Claiborne with a strong run, picked up 13. Faamoe leading the way at tackle as he picks up 12. Everyone's calling cardiac calves, but really it's a mindset, Coach Elliott says. These guys believe that they're going to find a way to win, and it certainly looks that way. They've made pivotal, critical plays when it's mattered most.
And belief like that, Mark, just continues to build. It's something that has an inertia that's hard to get rid of.
Great point. Chris Barnes, one of the speedsters on that offense, tripped up for a gain of about 2 on the play, close to 3 yards. Chris Barnes at 5'7", 168. Number 10, keep an eye on him. He'll have a say in how the offense goes one way or the other tonight.
And this is an offense that's going to need to be able to run the football with Damon Claiborne, and probably need some big plays out of number 1 or number 10, Chris Barnes, as well. But Damon Claiborne's one of the most dynamic running backs in the ACC.
Runs it into the boundary. There he is, but hit right near the line of scrimmage. May have gained a yard on the play. James Jackson, one of the prominent voices on the defense, limping off the field there a little bit. But he's been a key player at will linebacker for them all season. Sets up 3rd down and 7 for Wake Forest.
And this is what Wake wants to avoid, these obvious passing situations where Robbie Ashford's going to have to drop back. This offensive line's going to have to protect, and the receivers are going to have to get open. But Robbie Ashford has been very up and down throwing the football, particularly in the drop-back passing game, the traditional drop-back.
Ashford got rid of it. Incomplete at the 18-yard line. Chris Barnes was downfield, and Christian Charles back there in coverage. Ashford took a hit, too.
And this is a long developing route. He delivers it down the field, and Kazim Moore makes sure that he understands that, hey, man, you're not going to have that long to throw the football all day long.
Wow. And he's already a little nicked up coming into the game. Cal Joseph had his last punt blocked. He gets this one off a high spiral all the way back to the 15, where Cam Ross makes the fair catch. It'll be 1st and 10 from there after the 45-yard punt. All up on the hill. Back after this.
College football is presented by Experian, your big financial friend, a BFF for life. When you're tackling life's big financial moments, it's good to have a big financial friend on your team. Ready to take control of your finances? Download the Experian app now.
Well, a moment ago, Ashford took a huge hit, Roddy. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, Kazim Moore gets through the line of scrimmage, and then, man, that's tough. You're not allowed to hit the quarterback low, but I think that was right in the thigh area, near the waist, so he's good. But you can see Robbie Ashford a little banged up, asking for help from his offensive lineman to help him get up. He's going to be tested. His toughness is certainly going to be tested today.
Cam Ross in motion. Chandler Morris out of the shotgun. Play fake. That pass low, and they're going to rule it a catch out near the 30-yard line by Cam Ross. So a first down on the 15-yard reception.
That is where Chandler Morris is really good. Those timing rhythm passes over the middle of the field.
And they're going to take a look at this.
It's a completed catch. That play is under further review.
I wasn't so sure even from way up here.
Ooh, it does not look like he secures it before it goes through those arms. Let's see, this is going to be a great shot. Great look from our crew. Yeah, that is not a catch.
Yep.
You can see it. It's like a pinball going from right forearm to left bicep to chest to ground. It's a good attempt by Cam Ross.
Sold it well.
He did. A little off on the throw from Chandler Morris. Those are the reads that he really likes, though. Those in-breaking routes, the stuff over the middle when he's coming off play action. He can put his back foot in the ground and deliver the football. That pass, just a little off.
You know, you mentioned Morris. He has had quite the itinerant journey from Oklahoma to TCU, from North Texas here to Charlottesville with the Cavaliers. And he's the son of a football coach, and he's known his head coach now, Tony Elliott, since the time he was about 10 years old when his father coached with Coach Elliott at Clemson.
Pass is incomplete. Second down.
So there's the ruling. It's overturned, incomplete. But having been so many different places already, at one point he'd actually lost his love for football when he was at TCU, having lost the starting job twice because of injury one of the times.
I talked to him this week. He felt like coming to Virginia was a fresh start, and immediately upon arriving, he gathered the teammates around and expressed his lofty goals, not only to win, but to win big in terms of winning an ACC championship. He said his mom Paula has been his rock. His dad, Chad Morris, a longtime coach, was an OC at Clemson, the head coach, I believe, at Arkansas. He's at Texas State right now. So Chandler knows football. I mean, his mind is locked into being a quarterback since he was 5 years old. Grew up in Highland Park. We were there last week. That's a suburb in Dallas, Mark, right next to SMU.
Tell you what, his passport has a lot of stamps on it. Great to see him land in Virginia and enjoy some success and really fall in love with football once again.
Offense, number 7.
We'll go against the Cavaliers.
Still third down.
Mark, you used the word, and you warned us that you were going to use this, so we had it prepared. Itinerant.
Oh, wow.
Traveling from place to place. So all of our viewers, I challenge you to go use the word itinerant in your everyday conversation over the course of this week.
Keeping up with the Joneses, man. Grandpa Jones was an English professor, so I thank him for that.
That was your Grandpa Jones,
yes.
not mine.
Hey, man. He checks it down to the 15-yard line, Morris does, complete. Hazen making the tackle on Taylor. So it'll be fourth down coming up on the 4-yard gain, and Cavaliers will punt it once again on 4th and 9, 8 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Virginia off to its best start in 35 years. They come in at 8-1, a 9-1 start with a win tonight would give them their best start in school history. Sparks perched on his own 1-yard line. From the 32, Hernandez cuts it back. Nice punt return by Hernandez down to the 47-yard line of Virginia. And now a quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. That's the rule.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
All right, 7:24 to go in the opening quarter, and we have a new quarterback in the ball game, Deshaun Purdy, the sophomore, 6'4". Roddy, what's the difference in his skill set?
A little bit better thrower, a little bit more natural thrower is Deshaun Purdy. He can still run those, so don't sleep on his legs. It's not that much of a difference for Virginia. You have to treat those two quarterbacks the same. You're just not going to get quite as much run out of Deshaun.
Racanelli in motion. They keep it on the ground. Claiborne picks up about 3. Told you earlier that we'd probably end up seeing both quarterbacks tonight. Purdy on the season has only thrown it 71 times.
Mark, I don't know that we expected to see Deshaun Purdy this early in the game, though. You wonder if that hit that we showed on Robbie Ashford has anything to do with Purdy entering the game this early. Nonetheless, this Wake Forest defense hasn't allowed a first down yet, and the special teams doing their part to set up this offense with great field position.
Purdy looking to pass. Stands tall, delivers, and overshoots his receiver, Hernandez. Incomplete. Hey, Tuesday night on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the crew will break them down like a fraction from top to bottom, have the coaches' reactions, as well as live interviews with committee chairman Mack Rhodes, the Baylor AD. They'll also project the 12-team field.
Almost a couple of big shakeups today, but Indiana and Oregon getting out with wins.
What a finish.
That end of the Indiana-Penn State game was one of the best finishes that you'll see. The catch in the back of the end zone, tremendous.
Purdy's going to hand it off to Claiborne, picks up the first down. Well, they're going to spot it short. They're going to spot it short. So it's going to be a 4th down and less than a yard to go. Just a couple feet. You see that approximation, that yellow line on the field. And they're going to go for it.
I thought off initial look, Damon Claiborne had the first down. I think he has the first down. I just don't know if they would, upon review, go with that look, but big down here for this Wake offense.
They're 6 of 11 on 4th down, and they're going to have a look at this. And
previous play is under further review.
It's a great stoppage from the replay crew, because that was, to the naked eye, it looked like a first down, but we'll see.
Back after this break. Back in Charlottesville, Virginia, the call on the field has been upheld, and it'll be 4th and short.
Yeah, I just don't know that you had the angle to say definitively clear and obvious that that ball was across the line of scrimmage, but I like the call from Jake Dicker to go for it. Question is, what is offensive coordinator Robbie Zell, what does he draw? You have a 6'4", 230-pound quarterback. Do you use that with an extra blocker in Damon Claiborne to try and get this?
That barn split to the top of your screen. Claiborne in the backfield. On the play fake, pressure. Barnes, incomplete in the end zone, and Virginia takes over on downs. They took a shot, and Carnley was back there to break it up.
I actually think the throw is really good by Deshaun Purdy. It hits Chris Barnes in the head. Mitchell Melton certainly makes Deshaun Purdy pay for it, but initially Chris Barnes has a step. It's a good job by Carnley to stay there, but I think that the ball actually hits Chris Barnes on the face mask. had an opportunity to catch it, but the long 6'3" Emmanuel Carnley disturbs the receiver enough to be able to make it an incompletion.
1st and 10 coming back the other way from the 38-yard line for Chandler Morris. Hands it off to Taylor. And Taylor may have gotten a yard on the play. Afalava making the tackle.
This is a replay, and you talk as a quarterback, put it right on the face mask of your receiver. Well, he does that to Chris Barnes, and that should be a touchdown.
Yeah.
Wake should be up in this game 7-3.
Needs to make that catch.
You got to make it, and, you know, especially when you don't have that many opportunities. It's a good call by Robbie Zoe. You get a one-on-one coverage down the field, and you have the opportunity. Your quarterback makes the throw under pressure. Just got to be finished by the young sophomore.
On 2nd and 9, Morris surveys, slings, complete out of the backfield. Taylor made a guy miss and is chopped down, but he picked up enough for the 1st down. Good move on Braylon Johnson to gain 11 on the play. And out near midfield, playing a little tempo game here. Taylor on the handoff into the boundary. And moves the pile forward for a gain of about 3.
Tony Elliott told his team to anticipate that it might be a little bit slow going for this offense early on. Wake likes to do a lot of stuff with their defensive front to help stop the run. Twists, stunts, blitzes off the edge from up the middle. So sometimes they're going to get got. The Virginia offense is going to get got with a negative play or a no gain, but you can't get frustrated with the run because they'll eventually figure it out and pop one.
Taylor hit that edge, hard running across the 45. Brought down after a gain of about 3 on the play. Taylor, a transfer out of North Carolina Central. In the words of his head coach, Elliott, he is hungry for knowledge. And ideally, Roddy, they'd like to get him about 20 carries in a game.
They would. He's got tremendous contact balance. He breaks tackles really well. You can see his shiftiness in the open field as well, but he's out on this 3rd down. If Wake Forest decides to bring pressure, are they going to let Chandler Morris sit back and try and find his own?
Harrison Whaley in for him. Whaley across the formation is brought down 2.5 yards shy of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down coming up. Do you go for it or kick the field goal?
I think you go for it if you're Virginia. Your defense has been playing well against a Wake offense that struggled all year long. We've already seen Wake go for it. They took a shot down the field. Jamari Taylor's still not in the game. They like Harrison Whaley, but Jamari Taylor is a difference maker at the running back position.
Cavaliers 47% on the season on 4th down conversions.
Tell you what, the tight end Sage Ennis tends to be a target in big situations like these.
He's number 0. Keep an eye out. Morris on the run and throws it away, and that'll mean Wake Forest takes over on downs. Dylan Hazen with great pressure. I mean, he turned up the heat on Chandler Morris. And they'll take over in good field position, too.
Well, Dylan Hazen is going to be right here in the middle of your screen. He's actually going to hit the center and then get up the field. It's just a nice job by Hazen of fighting through. He's trying to clear it out for Aiden Hall coming back around, but that pressure forces Chandler Morris out of the pocket. It's also really well covered. It was a mesh concept, 2 crossers going across the formation from Virginia. Wake covered it well, and the pressure was able to create a turnover on downs.
That Wake Forest defense is a top 3 defense in the ACC. No surprise. Robbie Ashford back in at quarterback for Deshaun Purdy. Keep an eye out to see how he moves. But they blow the play dead first. And flag back at the 32.
Ball start. Offense. Number 85. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
It's interesting to listen Coach Dicker talk about, as you pointed out first with him, they changed the expectation of the season.
Please reset the game clock. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Thank you.
I absolutely loved that phrasing from Jake Dicker.
Yeah.
And the recognition that you have to address that with this team. Hey, look, you're 5-3. People thought you were going to be maybe 3-5 at this point. The expectations have changed. We have to rise to meet them. And the offense has to rise to meet the play of the defense.
They toss it into the boundary. Claiborne swarmed and brought down after a gain of 2 on the play by K-Mac and Minter. Hey, this week on Sunday NFL Countdown, before the Niners take on the Rams, Inside, how George Kittle pays tribute to veterans. Plus, Patriots quarterback Drake May goes one-on-one with Jeff Darlington. And a special Veterans Day edition of You Got Moss, Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Drake May, former ACC quarterback, former ACC Player of the Year. Quarterback in North Carolina, rival of both of these schools. Having a heck of a season for the Patriots.
Drake, what did I miss? Little over 2 minutes to go. I know you got that, partner. You're quick.
I did.
Carlos Hernandez, the intended receiver, incomplete. Under 2 minutes to go, 3rd and long coming up now.
And Mark, that last play kind of shows the development that still needs to happen with Deshaun Purdy. If he just sits in the pocket, you can deliver that ball a lot easier. Drifted himself into pressure and created a lot of pressure on him. And Robbie Ashford, you know, he's going to have to continue to develop, especially on 3rd and longs like this.
Let's take a look. Tried to run it. Checks it down, complete and wide open for the first down. Clark the third, inside the 40 to the 39. And there you see some of the wonderful improvisational skills by Ashford, leading to a 22-yard pickup.
Yeah, sometimes you need that, and he gets a little pressure and just scrambles out. Robbie Ashford on the last play drifted that way when he didn't need to, but he tried to step up, and then as he drifts, he's able to find Ty Clark. That's what you want out of Robbie Ashford. When the play breaks down a little bit, those second chance opportunities are where he can really excel.
A quarterback who's transferred from South Carolina, Auburn to Oregon, and now at Wake Forest. They keep it on the ground. Claiborne brought down after a gain of about 2 by Cam Robinson, who seems to be everywhere on the field. One of Elliott's original recruits at Virginia.
Here he is in the middle of the screen. They're going to push him, pull him, hold him, try and block him. I mean, you see the grab on the jersey, and he just tracks him down. Cam Robinson is explosive. He's instinctive, and he is such a playmaker for this team. We've already seen him with a blocked punt today on special teams. It's fun to watch.
2nd and 9 on the reverse. They're trying to throw it on a screen. Caught, and that's Claiborne all the way down to the 23-yard line. A lot of moving parts, but it pays off in a first down. A 15-yard gain. Boy, they had the defense shifting and moving, Roddy.
They did. And there's a lot going on. So first, Damon Claiborne, it lines up there. He goes that way. Carlos Hernandez comes back. Robbie Ashford drifts back. You get blockers out front. It goes back to Damon Claiborne. And I thought this play was dead to rights. And then they've got players out in front. The question is, did Damon Claiborne pick that up off the turf? It looks like he did. And Wake's in good position now.
That's the end of the first 15 minutes of play here in Charlottesville. Wake Forest threatening when we come back for the second. Virginia trying to keep its 7-game win streak alive. A moment ago, Quint caught up with Coach Dickert.
Coach, how do you describe your mindset tonight? You look like you're fired up.
I'm always fired up. You know, I just think our team, this is the atmosphere you want to be in. Talked about playing disciplined football. We've weathered a little bit of the storm. It hasn't been perfect, but we knew it wouldn't be. We got to finish this drive down here in the red zone.
What's the challenge of the quarterback position right now?
We're going to play both guys. You know, we're going to run the heck out of Robbie. He's playing well. Let's see Deshaun, you know, gives us an edge in the pass game, so we're going to keep these guys off balance and continue to get a flow on offense.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, go Deeks.
And they're flowing right now on offense. A nice sprint up the middle between the tackles by Claiborne to pick up 6. It'll be 2nd down and about 4 to go.
These are the times that Wake Forest, like Coach Dickert said, you have to take advantage of these opportunities. They had great field position and got stopped on a 4th down. Now here you are inside the red zone. Got to find a way to scratch and claw and get in the end zone.
He's looking to run it, Ashford is. Nowhere to go, though. He's going to gain about 2 on the play. Jason Hammond making the tackle, so it's a 3rd down and short coming up for Wake Forest in the red zone here. This is the big play of the game so far, the blocked punt, which led to a field goal by Tony Elliott's team. Cam Robinson omnipresent on that defensive side of the football, making big plays on special teams too. From the 16, 3rd and 2. And that's going to be short of the first down. Claiborne did not get it. It'll set up a 4th down and short. Fisher Kamek making the tackle. What do they do now?
And it's a really nice job by Fisher Kamek of just getting through that hole there on the right side. Gets in there, swims the offensive lineman, and is able to flatten out. And looks like they're going for it, Mark. Here in a 3-0 game, and have the opportunity to tie it up. Jake Dickert, he is being aggressive today. Damon Claiborne lined up behind the center.
On the direct snap, he'll pick up the first down.
Direct snap for Claiborne.
On the Wildcat, Claiborne took the snap and picked up about 3 yards on the play. And they'll move the chains.
They lined up Robbie Ashford and Damon Claiborne next to each other, so it looks like a traditional formation, but Claiborne lines up behind the center, Ashford over the guard. And Claiborne just a little fake toss up the middle, get a nice block on that left side of the line of scrimmage. Claiborne's able to sneak through for a first down. Jake Dickert's aggressiveness pays off.
From the 12. Burkhalter split to the top of your screen. No, that's Brenson actually. And we're going to have a Wake Forest timeout.
Wake Forest.
An opportunity to contemplate their next move. Back after this. Louisville, one of those one-loss teams in the ACC. Back here, Wake Forest threatening inside the 20. 1st and 10 from the 13. They're going to hand it off to Damon Claiborne. And one guy miss. Made it down to the 7-yard line. Robinson making the tackle on the 5-yard gain. Here's our Week 10 Monday Night Football matchup. Eagles taking on the Packers. Lambeau Field, 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app with Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with NFL Live at 3 Eastern in Green Bay. Then Scott Van Pelt and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern.
Seen in Green Bay on Monday nights, always a phenomenal one. Interesting to see that matchup between them and the Eagles on what should be an awesome, awesome environment.
If you're going, bring a coat. It's November there.
Yeah, exactly.
Toss to the wide side of the field. Claiborne made a nice move, cuts it up, and picks up the first down inside the 2-yard line. Man, he puts his foot in the ground and changes directions, picks up 5.
Mark, that already the 12th carry on the game for Damon Claiborne. We're barely 3 minutes in to the second quarter. He's already carried the ball 12 times.
This time he's met behind the line of scrimmage, Roddy, and he'll lose 1.5 yards. Mitchell Melton making the tackle. That'll be a loss of 2.
Last year, Damon Claiborne put up some incredible speed numbers against Miami on a kickoff return. 22.6 miles per hour, his fastest measured speed in all of FBS. This year, he's only hit 22.4, Mark, which is the tied for the 5th fastest in FBS. He doesn't need to hit 22 miles an hour to get in the end zone right now. He just needs a quick burst and a little bit of room.
On 2nd and goal, he takes the direct snap and got back to the original line of scrimmage inside the 2, setting up a 3rd down and goal to go. Jake Dickert says that he likes to choose dynamic over dimensions in reference to the size of Claiborne and the size of Chris Barnes. Diminutive athletes, but dynamic athletes. It's not about how tall they are or how much they weigh. It's how much burst they've got. 14th play of the drive. Third and goal, straight ahead. And it's short of the end zone at the 1. 4th and goal. What do you do now? They've gone 1 for 2 today on 4th down.
You've already gone for it twice on 4th down. Now here you are on the doorstep. I would not be surprised if Jake Dickert said, hey, look, we've got 1 yard to go, 3 feet. Let's put it on the backs of this offensive line and see if we can get in the end zone. They've tried Damon Claiborne. I think I'd make Damon Claiborne a blocker on this, and you let Robbie Ashford try and take this thing in the end zone.
On the quick toss, they fumble it, and Claiborne recovers it. The defense holds Virginia 1st and 10. An egregious error by the Demon Deacons in the shadows of the end zone. Another opportunity falls by the wayside. Cavaliers football when we come back.
Learning never stops. A refrain shaped from year to peer. A Tony Road destined to getting props. Be Yoo-hoos, Wahoos, or simply Cavalier. Orange and blue worn since 1888. So get off my lawn. We're here to stay. With a hush, Cavs getting the job done, so don't take the bait. Let's all join hands and give a yell for the dear old UVA.
And the UVA is back in full effect. You think about their wonderful season back in 1990 with the Herman Moore at receiver. The halcyon days of the program seem to be re-emerging. 4-yard gain on the play. Patterson making the tackle on Taylor. There was that pivotal game that season against, I think it was Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Roddy, you can go back there. Okay. I know you've YouTubed it.
Yeah, you know it. It was a magical season for Virginia, certainly, and they're on the precipice of another one. But this team, and today, you got to get something going on the ground. 7 carries for 11 yards so far rushing the football.
Taylor in the backfield. It's going to be a keeper by Morris off the great hand fake, and we got a late flag thrown. And Morris is slow to get up.
It's certainly going to be a late hit on the slide. The question is it targeting as well? And Chandler Morris has not been a slider this year.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit on the sliding quarterback. Defense, number 27. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic, 1st down.
You're gonna avoid the targeting here, Mark. There's no forcible contact to the head or neck area of the quarterback. He actually hits his own teammate Devon Patterson a little bit more.
Right.
But unfortunately for Virginia, Chandler Morris gets banged up. And look, sliding is there to protect the quarterback. But in these situations, quarterbacks are trusting the defenders to acknowledge and respond to the slide, and you're never more vulnerable on the field than when you slide. So I love it in the open field. I don't love it in those types of situations where it's going to be bang, bang. I mean, he was being contacted by a defender anyway. It is a late hit for sure, and the referee's got it right, but you just hope that Chandler Morris is able to bounce back from this.
You consider that
timeout on the field.
What he's been through already, and we earlier chronicled his journey through college football from Oklahoma to TCU to North Texas and nearly quitting at one point and finding football happiness here in Charlottesville. We'll find out how he is on the other side of this break. Well, Chandler Morris making his way to the locker room for the Cavaliers, shaken up on that last play. Daniel Kalen, the Nebraska transfer, now taking over at quarterback. Big pivotal moment for the Cavaliers offensively. They're going to keep it on the ground with Jamari Taylor. Keeps those legs firing all the way down to the 35. One more look at what happened a moment ago while we were away.
He's able to get up and walk off the field, but they walked him straight past the sideline into the locker room. And so now it's going to be Danny Kalen who takes over. And this is what happened. The slide, he gets hit by Devon Patterson from behind. Miles Turpin as well. Excuse me, that was Trayvon West. Just hope that Chandler Morris is able to come back into this one. Hope he's okay.
Kalen's only thrown the ball 24 times this year. He hands it off to Taylor again. Hall making the tackle. Sets up a 3rd down and short on the 3-yard gain. There's a look at the particulars on Kalen.
He's a guy that's a former Elite 11 quarterback, was a big-time recruit when he went to Nebraska, but obviously with Dylan Raiola there, decides to transfer to find a little bit more playing time. Most of his action has come against Coastal Carolina and William & Mary, but was in for the game-winning play against Louisville after Chandler Morris got banged up.
3rd down and short. Taylor gets the call. No, Kalen keeps it, and he's got an alley. Kalen, with great handiwork, dives. First and goal, Cavaliers. A 54-yard gain. Great call by Des Kitchens, the offensive coordinator on that play. I mean, everybody bought that fake.
I think everybody and their mama bought that fake. I mean, there was nobody there.
He stepped out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Setting up a 1st and goal.
So Danny Kalen's going to read the in-man on the line of scrimmage. That's Nick Anderson. He comes crashing down. Linebacker gets caught, and the safety even comes up as well. And there is absolutely nobody there when Danny Kalen pulls. Just the defensive back that gets pushed in by the receiver, and it's a foot race to the end zone. It's good hustle by Trayvon West to knock Danny Kalen down maybe before he gets there. Let's see if he's able, foot's out short of the goal line. It's a good call. Our referee over there was on it. But as you said, what a call by Des Kitchens. You got a new quarterback in the game. Nobody's really got a great scouting report on him. Hasn't run a whole lot. Only 4 rushes on the season. But a big one there, and certainly a really good call on 3rd down by the offensive coordinator of the Virginia Cavaliers.
That was a career-long run by Kalen, who from his first day on campus after transferring, planned on competing for the starting job. Morris, of course, had a lot more reps under his belt and experience. Moss in motion. Kalen caught by Moss. Hand walks it inside the 5. West making the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and goal on the 4-yard pickup.
Now the challenge is going to be finding something to get in the end zone. You got the ball in the hands of Cam Ross trying to get in the end zone. You see this year, 23 goal-to-go situations, 19 touchdowns so far. They've been incredibly efficient, but that's with Chandler Morris in the game, other than one play in overtime against Louisville.
Taylor to the right of Kalen. Takes the handoff. He's going to be stopped up at about the 2.5-yard line. Dylan Hazen, the first one to make contact on the 3-yard gain. With 6:41 to play in the first half. This Wake Forest defense, one of the best ones in the conference, bowing up a little bit here. 3rd and goal.
Wonder if Danny Kalen's legs come into play here as well, either on some sort of sprint out towards the field to that 3-receiver side, or on some sort of zone read like we saw on that 3rd down.
Second charge timeout.
And Wake Forest is going to call a timeout.
30 seconds.
Boy, Coach Dicker with some good acceleration down the sidelines to get the officials' attention. As we take a look at the college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Allstate, with the first rankings coming out on Tuesday. I was in front of my television screen watching that with bated breath. What jumped off the page at you?
Well, BYU going to Texas Tech and taking a pretty emphatic loss.
They got dragged.
Yeah, to the Red Raiders. How far do they fall? But Indiana escaping Penn State with a win. Certainly Oregon going to Iowa, needing that game-winning field goal in the dying embers of the game to get out of there with the win. So almost some drama in the Big Ten. But the big question, BYU now 8-1. How far do they fall? will tell us a lot about how the committee feels about BYU.
Boy, the funky formation. Pass complete, but nowhere to go for Taylor. And he's stopped up on 3rd and goal by Hazen. Well deciphered and taken apart by the defense.
And they actually have the numbers. Noah Josie, who's normally the left guard, just misses the block. They've got 3 blockers for 3 defenders. Look up top. There's only 3 defenders for Wake Forest, and you've got 3 blockers for Virginia. If you get a hat on a hat, it's a touchdown. But it's a really nice play by Dylan Hazen to knife through that little gap and be able to make the play. This Wake Forest defense, once again, bowing their neck.
Wow. Bettridge in to attempt this field goal from 21 yards out, and he knocks it through. Cavaliers going up 6-0. That feels like a win for Wake Forest after that big long run by Daniel Kalin, who's in relief for Chandler Morris, who was taken into the Virginia locker room several minutes ago.
And I think so far for Wake, Jake Dickert told Q it hasn't been perfect. No kidding. I mean, he got a punt blocked already. After that, defense comes up big. This 4th and goal on the 1-yard line, and you have your 13th fumble in the last 3 games. No, that's not
crazy.
That's not a mistype. It's not a misspeak.
Wow.
13 fumbles for this Wake team the last 3 games. They've only lost 4 of them, so the percentage of recovering them is tremendous.
You don't want to have to rely on that, though.
No, you do not. No, you do not. But Jake Dickert's team still finds itself in this game, a 1-score game. If you can get the ball in the end zone, you're going to take the lead. Although I do think with the way this defense is playing, Jake Dickert's going to have to change the way he's coaching in this game. If they get down there close again, you got to start to take some points, kick some field goals.
Hernandez has watched it go out the back of the end zone. Folks, time now for our Aflac trivia question. Where's my duck? There he is. Virginia's forced a turnover in 7 straight games. What's the FBS record for longest streak forcing a turnover?
It's a great question.
Wow.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's 12. Just go across seasons.
I'll take the. That probably the. I'll take the over on that. I feel like
I'll
go
it
higher.
Shouldn't count if you go from one season to the next season. I feel it's a different team. They shouldn't get credit.
Here's Ashford. Nice run, who seems to be moving well despite taking that big hit a moment ago. Let's check out the answer to the Aflac trivia question. Virginia has forced a turnover in 6 straight games.
Aflac.
What's the FBS record for longest streak forcing a turnover?
67?
Yeah, I got the over on that.
6-7.
Run straight ahead by Clark. And Clark is going to be about, you just say 6'7", right? 6'7".
I've got young kids, man. Anytime
6'7".
I'm there now. Wake would take 6 or 7 on this 3rd and short.
Supposed to be some hand movements with the 6'7".
Oh, I get you were reading the card. I was.
Oh, okay.
I was
sorry.
6'7".
I missed it.
This has got to be Robbie Ashford on the ground, right? Empty formation.
He's going to hand it off to Clark, and he's going to come up short. Wow, Ty Clark was stopped by Prevard. Okay, so I was reading the promo. How's the 6'7"?
Yeah, you know, he's both hands like this, kind of up and down.
6'7".
6'7".
My kids are a little older. I didn't catch that one yet.
I tell you what, when you have an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old, anytime you say anything around 6 or 7, it gets thrown out.
Beautiful night here in Charlottesville, and Cavaliers going to get the football back again, leading 6-0. A high spiral comes down to Cam Ross for the fair catch at about the 32-yard line on the 34-yard punt. What a season it's been for Virginia. And you know, you look at their record, Roddy, and it's 8-1, and you know, if you don't already know, that one loss was to North Carolina State. So you're thinking, how can they be undefeated in conference play? That was originally scheduled as a non-conference game, right?
Yes, it was. As the conference has expanded, some of these regional rivalries that you used to play all the time have gone out of the window. We've seen it before in the ACC. North Carolina, Wake Forest having non-conference games. Virginia and NC State hooking up for one this year.
Feels weird, but that's college football today. Jamari Taylor, a little bit unconventional. 4-yard gain. Kalen in at quarterback for Chandler Morris on this his second series.
I like how Virginia's kept it simple for Danny Kalen so far. Wake Forest is going to have to create some 3rd and longs, put the young the young sophomore in uncomfortable positions.
2nd and 6. Checks it down to Taylor. Trying to make a man miss, but pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 1 by Devon Patterson. Patterson and Anderson, those 2 DBs that form the heart of that Demon Deacon defense. Looking at a 3rd down and 5 when we come back. Kalen fires incomplete near midfield. Intended for Taylor. We get a flag down back at the 25-yard line. That's going to be a hold against Virginia.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down. Correction, that penalty's declined. It's 4th down.
So they'll punt it away.
Yeah, Danny Kalen drops back to pass. Feels a little bit of pressure and then tries to escape, and Jack Whitmer just grabs Langston Hardy across the breastplate. He throws it away. It was good coverage on the back end, though. And this Wake defense has been indefatigable.
Oh, I love that.
So far this year.
Daniel Sparks, tireless. Yep. Sparks punting, averaging over 48. A line drive. And fielded by Carlos Hernandez. Hernandez on the loose, looking for an alley. Up the sideline. Got a wave of blockers. Hernandez! Pop clutch. Hernandez, touchdown! The Demon Deacons with a deke.
Carlos Hernandez on return for a touchdown.
He took it back 88 yards.
I mean, he was prepared to just let this roll. Ball hits, it takes a really good bounce for him to field it. He does, and there's a couple of big guys down there trying to make the tackle initially. Breaks the first wave and then gets straight to the sideline. Good blocking up the sideline by Wake. And this is what happens when your defense comes up big over and over and over. It takes one play to get you in front.
Has changed the complexion of the game. Wake Forest with 93 seconds to go in the first half. Let's put some frowns on the faces of the fans here at Scott Stadium. One more look at Carlos Hernandez.
Couple of big guys initially make some miss, and then once you get to the sideline, you've got a cavalry in front of you. It's just about finishing the deal. And Carlos Hernandez.
He's one of the transfers from Washington State that came with Coach Dickert.
And he's played a big part on the offensive side of the ball. 35 targets on the season. But somebody threw something on the field.
And they weren't flowers either.
No, it was not. There was some liquid that spilled from that.
In a can.
I understand your displeasure, Hoos fans, but please keep your libations in the stands.
Yeah, we don't need that. 1 point lead for Wake Forest.
And this is the kind of game that Wake Forest has made it just about all year long, where it's kind of ugly. It's not perfect offensively. You have some opportunities, but you have some mistakes. But a play here and a play there, and Jake Dickert's team has been putting it together with sheer will and sometimes duct tape.
This place has fallen deafeningly silent after that punt return touchdown. Ball dribbles all the way into the end zone, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Cavaliers. Daniel Kalen, QB2 in the game. Fans standing on the hill.
And Mark, the question's going to be, how aggressive is Tony Elliott? How aggressive is offensive coordinator Des Kitchings with a sophomore quarterback in the game, getting his first real extended time in a game in the balance? Now that you're behind by 1, you get the ball first in the second half. So I'd expect Virginia to be a little conservative to start this drive. And then if you get a first down, maybe you accelerate.
Kalen's going to throw it complete to Trell Harris. His first catch of the game. Let's go down to Q.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Chandler Morris, the starting quarterback for Virginia, was taken off the field with an apparent injury late in the second quarter. He was taken inside, and that's the last we have seen of him. Backup quarterback Daniel Kalen has led Virginia on the last 3 drives. So Morris, his future in this game, very much uncertain right now, Mark.
Yeah, it feels that way, Q. Harris with the reception. Here's how it happened. He slid in and did not get hit by the defenders, who actually hit themselves, but nonetheless shaken up and into the locker room, as Quint reported. That one intended for Harris again. So it looks like Tony Elliott's going to be a little bit, and Des Kitchens going to be a little bit aggressive with Kalen throwing the football here late in the half.
They put the ball in the air, but 2 pretty conservative throws. The first one was just kind of a now route by Trell Harris at the line of scrimmage where you dump it out quick. The second was a quick little spot up in that curl zone. So they've given him some easy reads.
Kalen had it knocked away. It's loose. He put it on the ground, and the Demon Deacons recovered it. Wake Forest football. Langston Hardy makes the recovery, and now the backup quarterback is limping off the field. And a big hit by Afalava. Number 52, the defensive lineman. One more look here, Roddy.
Yeah, Dallas Afalava does a really good job of going to the hand of Danny Kalen. And Kalen, the ability to protect the football, going to be paramount. That's the first fumble that Virginia has lost all year long. 10 fumbles on the season. They had not lost a single one. At some point, the ball starts to bounce the other team's way. Langston Hardy recovers it. And now, if you're Wake Forest, I mean, you got to take a shot at some point on this drive, try and get in the end zone.
They put Deshaun Purdue in the football game at quarterback. Quarterback 2 looking to pass. Flushed out into the end zone and overshoots his wide open receiver. He had a man. That was Carlos Hernandez.
Carlos
had too much heat on it.
Oh, he was wide open, streaking down the middle of the field, and Deshaun Purdy threw it to the hill. I mean, he overthrew the end zone by 10 yards.
He sure did.
Just put it in the vicinity for your receiver, and it's a touchdown. Missed opportunity there for Wake Forest offensively, as the quarterback a little too much gas on it. I mean, here's Hernandez. He's like, I'm open, hit me. There's nobody there, and the ball ends up in row 2.
Purdue looking to pass again. Hit as it's released, and harmlessly incomplete at the 20-yard line. Anthony Brittum hit him first. So quick 3rd and 10 coming up for head coach Jake Dickert, whose team leads by a point. Deshaun Purdy in for this series. Purdy is 0 for 4 passing.
Yes, and it's been an ugly 0 for 4. Damon Claiborne not in the game. I think you got to find something easy for Deshaun Purdy. Maybe to Chris Barnes.
Gets it out quick on the receiver screen. You called it. Barnes with that last lunge might have gotten close. Let's look at the spot. We're going to start at a yard shy of the first down. So 4th and about 1 to go. They've got 1 timeout remaining.
They have been aggressive on 4th downs, although it feels like when you have opportunities to take points in this game, the way 4th downs have gone for Wake, you take them. They're going to leave the offense on the field. Jake Dickert staying with his approach to be aggressive on 4th downs. Although the play clock running down, they're going to have to take a timeout.
Yeah, they're 1 for 3 on 4th downs. Play clock at 4. They're going to call the timeout right there with 46 seconds to go.
Third charge timeout, Wake Forest. 30 seconds.
Interesting to see if they keep the offense on the field and try and pick up the first down or elect to take the field goal.
Mark, to be honest, with the backup quarterback in the game for Virginia, I think you go ahead and you kick it. You try and get the 3 points. You take a field goal for Virginia, putting them ahead. You take that off the table. I understand how aggressive Wake has been, but there's no guarantee you even get in the end zone the way that they've played so far, especially with the ineptitude at the quarterback position.
Remember, this team has already taken a shot on 4th down into the end zone. Hey, tonight, star-studded West Coast NBA on ESPN matchup. Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns taking on Kawhi and the Clippers at 10:30 Eastern Time. NBA Countdown Crew tips off coverage at 10 p.m. Also available on the all-new ESPN app. Former colleague Jeff Van Gundy doing a great job with the Clippers defense this year, and Kawhi looking like an all-star. So the offense not on the field. They're going to try and kick the field goal here. Connor Calvert from 39 yards out. (11 of 15 on the season. Make it 12 of 16. So Wake Forest increasing its lead to 4. There's a look at Hernandez, who is responsible for the game's only touchdown. Roddy, are you surprised by not just the score right now, but the low score in this game?
Not particularly, Mark. And the reason for that is it was going to take Virginia's offense a little bit to get going. The coaches felt like anyway. And then with the injury to Chandler Morris, that's going to have you take a step back even more.
Yeah.
And Wake just does this to teams. They tend to make it ugly. Virginia has had a stretch where their games were not high scoring. You go back to that North Carolina game, it ends up 17-16, but that's an overtime game that ends up with that score. That was low scoring and ugly. Washington State was sort of an ugly football game as well. It's just kind of how these teams have played this year.
Yeah, Wake Forest was in the mix until the middle of the third quarter, and they had 3 explosive plays called back last week in that game against Florida State. Last week was the only week where Coach Dickert said, we didn't feel like we got better for the first time this season. And this will go out of the back of the end zone. First and 10 from the 25. And remember, we saw Kalen shaken up. Let's see if he comes back on the field here. He will trot back on to lead the offense.
This Virginia team has battled injuries all over the place over the course of the season. Brady Wilson, the center, missed a number of games during the middle of the year where they kind of got disjointed offensively, and now dealing with an injury at the quarterback position. You saw a shot of Scott Hazelton, defensive coordinator for Wake Forest.
Going to hand it off to Jamari Taylor. And Taylor picks up about 2 yards on the play. Pisano makes the tackle.
There's Scotty Hazelton, the defensive coordinator for Wake Forest. He has done a really nice job so far in this game. His defense has stood up consistently. Virginia's had the ball in advantageous situations. After the block punt, they got held to a field goal. The big play to Kalen that Kalen had down the field inside the 10-yard line ended in a field goal for Virginia. This Wake Forest defense has kept him in this game, and special teams has him ahead.
Great point. Wake Forest has won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Cavaliers 7-game winning streak on the line. We're going to send it back to the studio for new scores and analysis. A little bit of a surprise. Wake Forest leading it at half. 10-6 as we get ready to start the third quarter of play. The Cavaliers with a 7-game winning streak coming into this ball game tonight. Folks, they're off to their best start in 35 years. A win tonight would improve them to 9-1, and that would be their best start in school history. In over 130 years of football history here in Charlottesville. But Wake Forest got handed a different script. Cavaliers will have the football here first in the third quarter. Cam Ross back there on this kickoff return. Ross from inside the 5. Out to the 19. Let's take a look at our playbook brought to you by Modelo. And speaking of returns on special teams, Roddy, this was a huge one.
Yeah, the return by Carlos Hernandez. He's got to make 4 guys miss. And if he can do that and get behind the 2 blockers up the right sideline, it's 88 and out the gate. And Carlos Hernandez does just that. A couple of big guys trying to make the tackle on a receiver in the open field doesn't go well for Virginia. And then once he finds the sideline, he's got blockers in front. No one between him and the end zone, really. And dodging a little bit of a bottle thrown from the stands in the end zone. Nice job by Wake.
Longest play of the season. A little mix-up there. Malfunction at the junction for Daniel Kalen. QB2 in the football. And Q has a report on Chandler Morris.
Yeah, Tony Elliott told UVA radio announcers that Chandler Morris will not return to this ball game today. So we'll get to see Daniel Kalen, the sophomore from Nebraska. He was a Cornhusker last year. He transferred in. This is a guy known for his accuracy. You guys mentioned he's part of the Elite 11 camp. He won the accuracy contest in that camp, and he's one of a few, only a small handful of Nebraska players to play here in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, Virginia coaches were familiar with him from some of the camps that they watched him perform at as they handed off Langston Hardy making the tackle on Taylor, but they felt very good about his command and his presence in the huddle and on the field. This is the play where Chandler Morris was injured, and then Kalen limped off the field after that hit.
You can see that left ankle, that left leg kind of get jarred. But these are the situations that Wake wants Daniel Kalen in. He's got to take care of the football.
3rd down and 5. Gets it out and completes it for the first down. All the way out to the 40-yard line. Trell Harris, who we saw get busy and engaged a little bit more, targeted more late in the second quarter, picked up 17.
It's a nice job. The motion creates a bunch formation for Virginia on the left side of that offensive formation. And then Trell Harris just hooks up in a little soft spot in the zone, and a good find by Daniel Kalen.
Transfer from Kent State. First down and 10 from the 41. Kalen taking a shot downfield and overthrows his receiver all the way down to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Virginia trailing, Roddy, but you get the feeling that they're very comfortable in these games when you look at the number of one-score games they've won this year.
The question, though, is without your starting quarterback, your leader in the game, does that belief that you're going to win the game, does that wane at all? And so it's going to be imperative that they put Daniel Kalen in good position to succeed early in this second half so that the belief amongst the offense is still there.
Looking at 2nd down and 10. Kalen completes it. And a first down catch and run by Cameron Courtney. Still on his feet to the 25. Courtney helping out his quarterback with a nice run after the catch.
Well, they do another motion to create another bunch formation. And then there's a natural pick that happens up the field with Eli Wood and Cameron Courtney. Courtney shows some elusiveness in the open field, and a good job by Des Kitchens of designing some good, easy throws for Danny Kalen early in the second half.
Picked up 34. Kalen hands it off to Taylor. Taylor straight ahead for about 6.5 yards on that one. You know, Chandler Morris made a bunch of cut-ups of plays that he liked to run for Des Kitchens when he first transferred to Virginia. I wonder if Kalen had the same opportunity, right?
I would say probably not.
Yeah.
He wasn't brought in to be the guy. Chandler Morris was. So Chandler Morris, a much bigger hand in designing this offense with some of his favorite schemes.
Inside the 20-yard line.
Ball start. Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And that's going to go back a few yards. Des Kitchens, a very proud dad. His daughter, Ava Kitchens, one of the top high school athletes track and field wise in the long jump and the sprints. I see some Jackie Joyner-Kersee potential in her long jump.
She is, we were told, she is the equivalent of a football 5-star prospect who's going to make her college decision. But he's got a son that's a pitcher at NC State, could be a weekend starter for them as a freshman. His younger son, Austin, great athlete as well.
Taylor into the boundary. Picked up about a yard. Patterson making the tackle. Ava going to be making her decision tomorrow on what school to decide to continue her collegiate career in track and field. You know I'm a big track and field guy.
I know you are.
I'll be looking out for Ava's announcement. Big into the sprints especially.
Yeah, and it was funny. He said that he's working with Ava on her starts, but as a teenage girl, Dad knows nothing, even though Des Kitchings ran a 4.2 in college.
Yeah, he don't know nothing about sprints.
He knows something about getting out of the blocks.
We all know nothing, about everything.
Part of being a girl dad, right? 3rd and 8. On the out, incomplete. And the Demon Deacon defense gets off the field. Courtney there to try and make the catch. And in comes the field goal unit.
It's a really nice job by number 99, Mateen Abirgaba, just creating pressure, knifing through, beating the right guard, and forcing a quick throw by Daniel Kalen and an incomplete pass, and now a field goal attempt for Virginia.
This field goal attempt from 40 yards out. Will Bettridge. Connected from 35 and 22 already. This will be his 3rd good field goal of the evening, bringing the Cavaliers to within 1. 10:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. With QB2 on the sticks. Will Bettridge brings them a little closer.
When Tony Elliott was hired back in 2021, his first hire was Adam Smotherman, strength and conditioning coach. He brought him over from Clemson. Smotherman had worked at Clemson for almost a decade. This is a man who played defensive tackle for Vandy. He wrestled and threw the shot. He's a juice guy. He's the energy guy. He's got his finger on the pulse of this program, and it's his work and his transformation that has led to the Cavaliers' success. Smotherman and Elliott, the 1-2 punch.
And Q, when we asked Tony Elliott about how do you create culture with the transfer portal, he said you have to be attached at the hip. With the strength and conditioning coordinator, Adam Smotherman, who really sets the culture, because these guys get in January and you say, okay, great, glad you're here. Go start working out. You turn them over to that strength and conditioning staff. And we got a taste of some of the touches that Adam Smotherman has implemented with this Virginia program. All the grips for weights and bars in that place are fat grips to work on grip strength as well.
Yeah, we got a free workout there today. Nice sprint across the grass by Claiborne. Let's listen in to Coach.
Coach Calgus, Adam Smotherman. I'm 38, you're 18. There's a little bit of a gap there. I didn't know we had gone West Coast for a bowl game.
Okay, yeah.
But a regular season, I was like, man, that's a different animal. So I appreciate you talking to Coach Harrison, helping us out. This takes me back to the skate center back in the day. Y'all don't know nothing about the skate center. Yeah, dude.
Adam Smotherman, Russ Chair. Damn glad to meet you.
So well said, Q. Claiborne tackled for a loss by James Jackson. Those strength and conditioning coaches, Roddy, and you know this to be true too, they are that coach that a lot of players will confide in, almost like a mental wellness coach a lot of times, right?
Well, there's so many touch points with the strength coach and the players, especially in the offseason. I mean, you see your position coach a couple times a week maybe. You see your head coach maybe once a week. You see your strength and conditioning coach every day. So he sees the good days, the bad days, the fun days, the tough days. He can really help mold these young men.
2nd and 17. Ashford throws a dart complete to Carlos Hernandez. Roddy, that looked like that big resistance ball you were tossing around today at the workout.
He's tossing a little faster. This is a big third down for Wake Forest. I almost feel like if you're Robbie Ashford, if you get a lane, take off and use those legs.
They're 1 of 8 on third down. Ashford got it out. Down the sideline. Incomplete for Barnes, who has been smothered and muted today. That time, Prevard was there in on coverage. And it sets up a 4th and long now for Wake Forest. They'll have to punt.
The 6'2" Jason Prevard has done a really nice job in coverage against the 5'7" Burner and Chris Barnes, and Adam Smotherman fired up, keeping these guys engaged. This defense for Virginia has continued to play with spirit and continue to play hard.
Cam Ross back for the punt at his own 30-yard line. Punt coming from Cal Joseph. And it'll be down just inside the 30-yard line. One of the most important coaches on that staff. Smotherman, more with him, from him on the other side.
Let's go. Set the tone. Set the tone in the warm-up. Finish, 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 finish. Hey, oh, oh, hey, oh. All right, on the whistle, we're sprinting to the 25. Right on the money, like a well-oiled machine, Coach.
Energy level 10 out of 10. Caffeinated, no days off. Bringing the juice. The strength and conditioning coach has got to be your hype man. He's got to be your drill sergeant.
Yes, he does.
He checks all those boxes, man.
I'll tell you what, talk about a guy that looks like he can throw some weight around.
Kalen in a quarterback. Trell Harris with the catch and run. And I wonder if we're going to, not quite a horse collar tackle. Nick Anderson making the tackle.
Let's see about this one. He does grab, he kind of grabs low enough where it's not a horse collar, and he lets go. It doesn't drag him to the ground.
12-yard gain.
Call.
Sorry, Roddy, 12-yard pickup. Kalen throws it away. Cam Ross was in the vicinity. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Go back to Nick Anderson. He's one of the key members of that secondary, number 45 for Wake Forest. One of the leaders of that defense. He got every vote from every player for captain for Wake Forest. There he is, and they like to nickname him Captain America. They've even got a special term for him, Roddy, when he goes rogue on defense, right?
Yeah, it's called Anando. But he is a guy that understands his defense and understands some of the chances he can take.
They stopped the run for about 4 yards that time. Whaley made the tackle.
So look at Scotty Hazelton, the defensive coordinator, who has to be proud of his defense's effort. And I think the thing that stands out about this defense, there's not a real star, a singular star. Nick Anderson, certainly a name that people know. Devon Patterson's probably their best player overall. But there's not a true star, but this unit plays so hard and they make you earn everything. Yeah. This is a big 3rd down, though. And when they've gone in zone coverage, Daniel Kalen has found some spaces.
3rd and 6. Kalen completes it, and it's going to be real close, right near midfield. I don't think that they'll give it to Eli Wood, who made the catch and run. He's about a yard shy of that 1st down. And decision time again. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
They are sending in the big personnel.
They're 0 for 1 on 4th down tonight.
You got to feel like if Virginia can get a touchdown, and they have settled for so many field goals. Wake's offense really hasn't done much in this game. Part of the reason Tony Elliott going for it.
On the direct snap to Taylor, he picks up the 1st down and then some. Got about 4 on the play. Discarded that first potential tackler and moved the chains. 1st and 10.
It's a nice job by the right side of this offensive line. Extra tackle in the game. Able to really collapse the edge, and then it's just one-on-one in the hole with Jamari Taylor and Dylan Hazen. Jamari Taylor wins.
Play clock at 7. Kalen on the play fake. Almost sacked, incomplete. Looked like there was a receiver close. Jaden Loving with good pressure up front. Put the pressure on Daniel Kalen. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Just watch the play fake from Danny Kalen. He does a nice job with those, but the protection up front has let him down a couple times. Jaden Loving all up in his grill, unlovingly, if I might say.
No love at all.
That was what happens after the love is gone.
You know I got that on my playlist, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Classic. That pass way off the mark, intended for Edgerrin. I think Earth, Wind, and Fire is on tour right now still.
Still?
I think it's backups, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Elements, earth, wind, and fire. Virginia needs some elements to get them going, something to spark them into that fire. The offense has made some headway, but the big play came early in the game when they had the zone read with Daniel Kalen. But here on a 3rd and long, big thing for the sophomore, protect the football.
Trell Harris, their leading receiver, split to the top of your screen. He comes underneath. Ball is loose. It comes out. It's on the ground. There was backside pressure. Who's got it? Big hit by Newer Gakuth.
Really on the field, it's a fumble recovered by the defense.
And it's Wake Forest football.
Newer Gakuth bending the corner. The sophomores turned it over a couple of times. Virginia had not lost a fumble coming into this game. Now they've lost 2.
You're watching ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by Experian. From Charlottesville, Virginia. My man's got a big bottom lip right now. Got to put a smile on that.
I hope that drink wasn't his.
Off the right side, Claiborne. A nice gain of about 9. Over the right side, Sell and Ma'amoe leading the way on the offensive line.
Here's the fumble. And we had the question, is the ball out before the hand starts to come forward with firm control of it? And I think it absolutely is. Obviously, the referees agreed. 0 fumbles lost coming into this game. 2 lost so far for Virginia already.
Oh, great cutback by Claiborne, but he's brought down at about the 36-yard line. Good tackle by Ethan Minter to limit that gain to just 4 yards.
Talked about the speed of Damon Claiborne. That defensive coordinator, John Radzinski, his defense has really played well all year long, and they're going to have to come up with another stop.
Down the sideline. Caught, but did he stay in bounds? They're going to rule it out of bounds. One official indicated it was out of bounds.
Mark, I think
Burkhalter.
I think he gets a foot in that as long as he has firm control. The question is, the foot might have come down.
Is an incomplete pass.
Foot might have come down on the line.
They just ruled incomplete.
Just by a toe. Watch the right foot as it comes down.
Ooh.
That is close, man. That is close.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
That was a little less definitive. Q, what do you got?
Well, you can see the mark he left in the turf right here. Part of it is in, and then part of it hits the white line. So this will be a tough call. This is actually the cleat mark, and it's inbounds, but it also hits a little bit of the white.
Well, if that toe hits the white, it's out of bounds. See that right foot is the one that we're looking for.
Right there. Yeah, you see the divot that Burkhalter made. Hey, Q, you got to stop messing with the evidence down there.
I know.
I mean, I haven't played golf since my daughter was born 16 years ago. But this is what it looks like. It looks like a golf shot.
You can barely see it.
And it does contact the white.
Yeah, I think
that's the evidence.
The other part of it, Q, the call on the field was an incomplete pass. There's nothing clear and obvious that we've seen from this replay to overturn it to a catch inbounds. I tend to think that foot, that maybe the big toe lands on the line. But whether or not it does, you have to have clear and obvious evidence that the foot was inbounds to overturn the call. So I think this thing's going to be upheld.
So if he's a size 11 instead of 12, it's a completion.
But he may not run as fast.
That's true.
That's really the first play down the field, though, we've seen Wake Forest hit or really come close to hitting.
Robbie Ashford put it right where it had to be, too. Here's the adjudication of the call and the decision.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's an incomplete pass.
Yeah. So we're looking at a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and I think on review, that's a good call by the ACC Operations Center. And you see Wake Forest is going to pick their spots to take shots down the field. Because, Mark, it feels like a big play is what's going to have to get them in the end zone. They have not been able to consistently sustain a drive against this Virginia defense really all game long.
From the 36, 2nd and 10. Ty Clark in the backfield. Ashford downfield again, got a man, and incomplete, batted away. It was underthrown. Prevard knocked it away from Chris Barnes. It has been stymied all night.
It's a little underthrown, but if Barnes is a little bit further inside, it's also, you know, just the receiver and the quarterback just being on a little bit different page about how wide he would have to be. You'd like him to put it over the outside shoulder, but Prevard, 6'2", and you're right, Mark, it was a little more underthrown than I initially thought. Prevard, 6'2" length to serve that throw once again.
Going up against the 5'7" Chris Barnes. Racanelli in motion. Ashford, they set up the screen, the middle screen complete. That's Johnson, the tight end, picked up 3 on the play. Under 4.5 to go in the 3rd. 4th down coming up. Ball spotted at the 33, so this would make it a 50-yard field goal attempt. Calvert has coaches tell us about a 57-yard range area.
The field goal at the end of the SMU game would argue differently. It was about a 50-yarder that barely snuck through.
This one coming from 50. Calvert got it up in the air. And he knocks it through.
Mark, I'm telling you, 50's the range because that one snuck through as well.
Hey, at least it wasn't 49.
No kidding.
And look at the body language from Coach Dickert, giving it a little bit of help. Ties his career long of 50 yards. Football, a game of inches.
Let's see how much this one clears by. I mean, he might have had another yard or two in there, but there wasn't much. Carlos Hernandez, the receiver who had the punt return for a touchdown earlier in this game, fired up. I mean, the special teams has really been the offense for this Wake team so far today. Imagine, though, if instead of going for it on that 4th down earlier in the game on the 1-yard line, you'd have taken the field goal. I mean, you'd be up 7 now instead of being up only 4. Certainly hindsight 2020, Jake Dickert being aggressive early on. That was when Chandler Morris is in the game. You're thinking we need points. Now that with Daniel Kalen in the game, I mean, field goals might be enough to win this thing if you can get maybe even one more the way your defense is playing.
It's trending that way, man. Carlson ready to kick off to Cam Ross back deep on his own goal line. But Virginia is used to playing these perilously close games. Cavalier fans would be the first to tell you that we got them right where they want them right now, as we send it back to the studio. right, thanks a lot, guys. 1st and 10 back here from the 25. Daniel Kalen in a quarterback for Chandler Morris, who was injured in the 2nd quarter. And we are told he will not return to the football game.
Got to say before we get too far away from it, I like the way Matt Berry says Alabama.
Nobody punches it out like he does.
Punches the Bama. I love that.
On the jet sweep. That's Cameron Courtney pick up 2 yards. Look at some of our headlines today. Indiana survives a thriller at Penn State. Going down to the final minute of the game in that one. Texas Tech. Boy, I was really surprised by how they just handled BYU. They gave them work today.
They had Bear Bachmeier seeing maybe more than ghosts, ghost spirits, and all kinds of fantastical things. But Oregon surviving at Iowa. That was going to be a test in the rain there in Iowa City.
Kalen over the middle, complete. This is Trell Harris. And Trell out to the 42-yard line, brought down by Braylon Johnson, and a 1st down on the pickup of 15 yards.
Little mesh concept. They find Trell Harris over the middle, but the linebacker, Frank Cassano, carries the crosser going to his left a little too far, and so Harris is able to get to the right of the linebacker in the soft spot.
They keep it on the ground this time. Taylor over the left side, brought down to the 45. Roddy, back to Trell Harris. We haven't seen, or maybe I'm just missing it, wouldn't be the first time, that as much of that matchup between him and number 20 Webb, the DB in this game. What do you make of that?
They've tried it a couple of times down the field, and I think Ladarius Webb has played pretty well.
Okay.
And Scotty Hazelton, the defensive coordinator for Wake Forest, told us number 20 playing well is going to be crucial. Virginia has taken their shots, but hasn't been able to hit them.
On 2nd and 7. On the reverse. They give it to one of the fastest guys on the team, Courtney, but he's collared and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Braylon Johnson with yet another tackle. No gain on the play. 3rd down coming up. That defense is energized.
They have played hard all year long. They fly around, do a really good job of tackling as a team. Feels like Scotty Hazelton has them coached up where everything they do is cohesive. They rush as a unit. They pursue the football and tackle as a unit, and they create 3rd downs. They've created a bunch of 3rd downs here today. Now Virginia with its 11th attempt on 3rd down.
Demon Deacons defensively doing this, one of the top 3 offenses in the conference. Taylor going to be stopped up short of the 1st down on 3rd and 7. Nick Anderson, a.k.a. Captain America, as he's called by his teammates and coaching staff, making the tackle.
Look how far back Nick Anderson is. I mean, he's a good 15 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and he comes down like a bat out of you-know-what, just flying down the field to be able to make the tackle and the big hit on the 3rd down. This is a guy that is a tackling machine in the secondary, so well-versed in this defense and so instinctive with the way that he plays.
Coach is quick to say we can live it with his mistakes when he freelances it.
False start, offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
It's going to go against the Cavaliers. 37 seconds to go in the 3rd.
I think if I'm Tony Elliott, I'm punting this thing away from Carlos Hernandez. He's already taken 1 back for a touchdown. With the way this game has gone, you just don't want to give Wake special teams any opportunities to extend this lead. You have to make the offense do it because they have shown over and over against this defense, it's going to be tough sledding.
Let's see if they directional kick this football. Well, if they were trying to, they didn't do a good job, because he'll have a chance to return it. Hernandez. Nice return out to the 27. We got a flag on the play. See what this flag is about with 7 seconds to go. 49-yard punt, 17 on the return.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block. Receiving team, number 43. Penalties half the distance to the goal. First down, Wake Forest.
Let's check in with the studio. Yeah, gas him up, Roddy. Gas him up.
Matt, I could not agree more. A lot of the reason is Jadarian Price takes a lot of the carries away from him because the guy would have well over 1,000 yards early in this season. But Jeremiah Love may be the best player in the country. Although the Heisman moment Fernando Mendoza had today in Happy Valley, I mean, that's got him as the favorite in the clubhouse.
No doubt. Deshaun Purdy in a quarterback. He and Ashford have rotated several different series here tonight. They're going to run it. And nowhere to go that time for Claiborne. Brought down just behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to do it for the first 45 minutes of play. The Demon Deacons trying to end the 7-game winning streak of the Cavaliers, who are off to their best start in over 35 years. 15 minutes to go when we come back to Charlottesville. Welcome back, everyone, under the moonlight at Scott Stadium here in Charlottesville, Virginia. 13-9 as we go down on the field to quit a moment ago with Coach Elliott.
Coach, you just gathered the team around. What'd you say?
I told them, hey, this is where we're most comfortable. This is what we work for. A one-possession ball game in the fourth quarter. Man, this is what we've been doing for weeks. So let's find a way to get a stop, get good field position, offense, get a touchdown, and let's see can we go win a ball game.
What's the belief level right now?
Oh, man, they believe. This football team has no reason not to believe, and they believe they're going to find a way in the fourth quarter.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
And that's exactly the unique quality that Coach Elliott has told us that his team has this year. They just find ways to win. Barnes in motion. Pass is going to be ruled complete to Burkhalter. Boy, what a rope by Purdy.
The arm talent certainly there with Deshaun Purdy. The thing is the accuracy going to be there? And that time on the run, it absolutely was. And now a 3rd and short. You mentioned Tony Elliott wanting good field position for his offense. Well, it comes down to this 3rd down. Empty formation. And they've motioned Ty Clark back into the backfield. They're doing it here.
On 3rd down, ball tipped, incomplete. So Virginia gets the stop they needed. And it's 4th and 3.
It's the blitz off the edge by James Jackson that's able to get the hand on the football. I thought he might have had Ty Clark right away if he'd have gone there for the 1st down. I mean, the guy that had Ty Clark in man-to-man coverage was the safety. He's in the middle of the field trying to get to the running back. I think Purdy got stuck on that first read a little too long. And then the tipped ball is going to create, should be pretty good field position for Virginia offensively.
Cal Joseph into punt for the 5th time today, starting at his own 5. Cam Ross with a chance. Hit immediately at the 35-yard line. Great downfield coverage by Miles Turpin. But there's a flag on the play, so let's hold on and see what it's about.
It's going to be a taunting penalty.
You know that's my least favorite call
yes,
in college football,
right? Just
right?
wait till you see this one.
I'm going to pop my top on this one, man.
This one's going to be...
I'll pop my top.
It's going to be interesting if you see. What I think happened is we'll get the call now.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, kicking team, number 35, is first of the game.
Yeah, it's Cordell Bartley.
Talk to me, Doc.
The freshman defensive back.
Wow.
Well, he doesn't make the tackle, but he comes up right after and gives the big thumbs down. So the tackle is made. Bartley's there, walks up to Cam Ross, stands over him, and celebrates. I mean, you can't do that. It's clearly taunting your opponent when you stand over. You didn't even make the tackle.
Yeah.
You stand over him and give the thumbs down. That's a freshman costing his team. Virginia did not have great field position after that punt, but the penalty puts them past the 50 into Wake Forest territory.
On a potentially historic night here at Scott Stadium, let's listen in to the sights and sounds for the next little while here.
Pass intended for Sage Ennis. Second and 10. Two of the run.
The resonant intonations of an unsuccessful drive for the Cavaliers. Wake Forest football when we come back, 1st and 10 here in the 4th quarter. And welcome back, everyone, in the game that has had 9 combined punts by both teams. A low-scoring affair. The Demon Deacons with a slight lead right now as we look at some of the cogent numbers on the evening.
Well, if you like defense, this is the game for you because we've got a low-scoring affair. The only touchdown scored in this game was on an 88-yard punt return by Wake Forest's Carlos Hernandez. Other than that, it's been field goals, turnovers on downs, and actual turnovers and punts.
Keep it on the ground on 1st and 10. The handoff goes to Damon Claiborne. Picks up 5, brought down by Devin Neal.
And Mark, in a game like this, it kind of feels like whoever makes one more big play is going to be the team that wins this. Wake, for Wake, offensively, you got to be looking at number 1, Damon Claiborne. We mentioned how explosive he is. 22.6 miles per hour last year against Miami, 22.4 this year. That's what he's hit on the GPS.
He gets the carry again. Picked up about 3. It'll be 3rd and 2 coming up. Cam Robinson making the tackle.
Wake today, 1 of 11 on 3rd downs and only 1 of 3 on 4th downs. This has been a tricky spot for them. They haven't had much success, obviously. I think I want to see Robbie Ashford's legs here. The pass game has been too inconsistent, and the traditional run game hasn't worked all that well for him on 3rd downs.
Chris Barnes, their leading receiver, has been stymied for most of the night, number 10. Ashford's going to keep it, going to pick up the first down. Robbie Ashford put his hat down and picked up the requisite yardage. Got 3, and they moved the chains with 11:35 to go in the ball game.
Well, it's just a really nice job by the right side of the line, and then you get Damon Claiborne involved. That's that extra blocker, and that's what was needed. You see Claiborne leading up on the Virginia defender in the hole, gave Robbie Ashford just enough room to get that first down. Love the play call from Robbie Zell.
Hand it off again. Pardon me, Ashford keeps it again. You know, Robbie Ashford is playing tonight as he has the entire season with poignant emotions, a very heavy heart. His dad passed away back in April, and he was really withdrawn after that, but an inspirational conversation he had with his grandmother convinced him to lean into his new teammates at Wake Forest and carry on.
Just a tremendous testament to the resilience of Robbie Ashford in that Wake Forest community.
Keeps it running into the boundary. Got a blocker in front of him. Got back to the line of scrimmage. K-Mac making the tackle on the play. This is actually the first season that Robbie Ashford is playing football without his father's loving, supportive presence. 3rd and 7 coming up.
That's what's on the line for Virginia. Chances to make to the ACC championship game shrink significantly. They go back into the pack with the one-loss teams if they do indeed lose this one. And they've got Robbie Ashford in this Wake offense in a 3rd and long. It's a place where Wake has struggled all day.
Both teams 2 of 12 on 3rd down. Ashford going to take off. Running for the marker, will pick up the first down and tiptoes out of bounds, signals first down at the 45-yard line. Got 11 on that scamper.
This hole is opened up because of the rush. There's a twist here, but on this side, the twister gets pinned, and Robbie Ashford is able to just sneak through the hole on the left side of the line. It's a nice job by that Wake offensive line, pushing, or first off, sorting out that twist and then cutting off that first defender trying to twist, and it opens up the left side of that line for Robbie Ashford's scramble.
Nice run by Ashford. Play clock at 5. Clark takes the football, powers forward for close to 5 yards. Ethan Minter making the tackle on the play.
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Keeping them warm? That?
Keeping the footballs warm. Honestly, I think it's a couple of equipment managers who are using it as an excuse to stand next to the heater.
Okay.
So they can keep their hands warm. It's a heady play. A veteran move, if you will.
But the footballs were getting a suntan there. Claiborne in the backfield. 2nd down and 6. Virginia on a 7-game winning streak coming into this game tonight. Nowhere to go for Claiborne. The great thing about Claiborne is, in this sometimes transient world of college football, when the coaching change was made and Dickert came in, he decided to stay. He planted his feet firmly in the ground and said, you know, I want to make it happen here for better, for worse.
There were a lot of suitors financially for his services, but decided to stick it out with the Demon Deacons. And another 3rd down. Robbie Ashford's legs have converted the last 2. Virginia, got to use some sort of spy on him.
On 3rd and 6, complete, right near that first down marker. Fly, and they're going to give it to him. They're going to give it to him.
These Wake Forest coaches were really excited about getting any Fly back in this game. Missed a couple of weeks, but that production at the tight end spot is something they've been missing since he's been out. And a really good delivery by Robbie Ashford, confident on the quick read and the quick delivery.
He's made some pivotal and crucial throws here and plays on this drive. Taking a shot downfield. Incomplete, just overthrew Hernandez, who got in behind his man that time. Instead, it'll be 2nd and 7. Got him behind Corey Costner.
Corey Costner, the true freshman, he's done a pretty nice job this year, although Florida State found that matchup in the slot against Costner and was able to hit some big plays against him last week. We've seen Wake take that shot with Chris Barnes in this game, and Jason Prevard, who's been on him, has done a nice job against him. But that time you get a matchup against the backup, and they had the opportunity, just a little bit of an overthrow.
Costner actually had an interception last week in that game against Cal. This is going to be Ashford. Kept it himself. Moved the pile a little bit. Picked up about 2 yards. Sets up another third down. They've been able to convert a few times on third down on this drive.
Already 3 first down conversions. John Radzinski just knows his defense has to come up with one stop here. And it's been Robbie Ashford. Twice with his legs, once with his arm. If you're Virginia, you're content to let him try and beat you with his arm rather than those legs.
They go empty, 5 receivers. Ashford takes out his do-it-yourself kit and powers his way to a first down. Inside the 35, another consecutive third down conversion for the Demon Deacons.
So look at the alignment of these two apex defenders. It just leaves a lot of room in the middle of the field for Robbie Ashford when he drops back. I mean, he sees that lane, and as long as he can break that first wave, the defensive line, there's a lot of room to run, and Jake Dickert absolutely loves it. That has to be something that they've talked about. Virginia likes to move those guys out of the box to take away that hook curl zone, but what it opens up for Robbie Ashford is the quarterback draw.
First down and 10. Ashford completes that pass to Racanelli. Some tense looks etched across the countenance of the parents here on Parents Weekend in Charlottesville. 3-yard gain on that completion. Javon Claiborne back in the football game for Wake Forest. A time-consuming drive here, Roddy, by Wake Forest. They've used up about 7.5 minutes on this drive.
So this is going to be declared an incomplete pass. They're going to bring it back. So we could not hear the announcement by our referee, Nate Black, but he signaled that it was going to be an incomplete pass.
Well, let's take a look.
Sawyer Racanelli. I don't know that we can see anything from that replay.
That one was inconclusive.
Yeah.
Well, they say incomplete. That's the call on the field now. 2nd and 10. Claiborne trying to get to the edge and chop down behind the line of scrimmage. Donovan Platt lacerating all potential blockers in front of him, knifing in there like a torpedo.
Look at these third downs. Only 2 conversions leading up to this drive. 3 for 3 on this drive. It's got him on the fringes of field goal range, although based on Connor Calvert's 50-yard attempts, I'm not sure they're there. It'd be about a 52-yarder from here. But that last play was a pin and pull scheme. Virginia's done a great job against that scheme. It's a staple for Wake Forest, and it sets them up another 3rd and long for this Wake Forest offense. Showing pressure.
They've converted 3 times. There's the speedster Barnes, and he's brought down way shy of the first down at about the 32-yard line by Prevard. So 4th down coming up.
I mean, Jason Prevard has to take on the block of a tight end, Any Falai, and then he just gets off the block and gets enough of the legs of the speedster Chris Barnes to get him to the ground. If he does not, Barnes is racing to the end zone, and we're going to get another attempt from Connor Calvert. This one just shy of 50 yards, so he should have plenty of legs.
Oh, yeah. His career long is 50. He connected from 40 and 50 already tonight. This one from 49. Good snap. Calvert looks good. Got enough leg, and he knocks it through. It's still a 1-score game, still within reach for the Cavaliers, down by 7. with 3:53 to go in a 7-game historic beginning for the Cavaliers on the line. They'll have the football when we come back here to Scott Stadium under the lights. Well, you know, for Virginia, they're used to playing on the edge. 5 of the last 6 wins have been all by 1 score. They're used to running it all the way down to the wire. Several times this year, they have made the pivotal and critical plays that have had the game go their way. And it feels like that's the setup here again tonight. All of those close wins have become a way of life for Tony Elliott and his team this year.
No doubt. It's become a lifestyle for the Cardiac Cavs. Can they do it without their leader at quarterback, without Chandler Morris? It's going to be the big question.
Nobody on their team has a blood pressure reading of 120/80. It's just, that doesn't exist anymore. Let's go back to the studio. Yeah, Matt, you know I'll be watching that. James Harden likes to go back to Arizona State and train in the summer with some of the guys there. Catch him next.
Matt Berry, Arizona State Sun Devil legend.
Kalen has passed for over 104 yards. Hands it off this time, and a big gain. Taylor in the loose. All the way into Wake Forest territory. The longest run of the night. And he got a good block and ran over Braylon Johnson.
And it's the blocks on the right side of this line of scrimmage, and then there's a block by the left tackle that ends up springing this. This feels like a run that he had against Florida State. Collision with Earl Little down the field. In that one, he was able to take it for a touchdown. This one a little bit further out. Collision with the safety gets them down near the 30-yard line. Jamari Taylor coming up with a big play, something that it felt like Virginia needed on this drive, this potential game-tying drive.
Gets the call again. Great jump cut. And picked up about 6, almost 7 on that play. Did the ball come loose, or they're saying it was down? There's a flag. It may not matter.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
They're going to bring that one back. They said that they wanted to get Jamari Taylor about 20 carries tonight. He's at 17. He's run for 86.
So the penalty's on Noah Josie, and he's got his hands outside. That's where he gets in trouble. It's right here as the left guard ends up. There's a little. It's not much there, to be honest with you, Mark. It looks bad because his hands outside of the frame of the body, but not a ton there. I think we have the benefit of slow-mo. Right. As a referee, you see that, and it's going to look bad.
Pushes it back to the 42.
The previous play is under further review. Determined that the runner was not down.
So they're reviewing to see whether it was a fumble potentially or not. If the runner was not down, Dylan Hazen recovered the loose ball in the immediate aftermath. Let's find out on the other side of this. The officials reviewed this play, the last one before the break, and watch Dylan Hazen just peel the ball carrier clean. Jamari Taylor took it away from him before he was down, and it'll be Wake Forest football.
The reaction on the sideline for Wake Forest, excitement. Tony Elliott trying to keep Jamari Taylor's spirits up. This Wake Forest team with bowl eligibility on the line now has an opportunity. If the offense can get a drive going to end this game.
They're going to keep it to the ground with Claiborne. Picks up 3, maybe 2.
How about this, Mark? I mean, this is a Virginia team that came in 7th in the country in turnover margins. They'll take their first time out. 0 fumbles lost.
That's
through
crazy.
The first 9 games. 3 of them lost tonight. This is their 3rd turnover. But Mark, coming into this game, they fumbled the ball 10 times and lost none. Fumbles are one of those really random things that when you have a stat like 10 fumbles, 0 loss, tends to be a regression to the mean at some point.
The football gods can do some interesting things in November. Hey, here's our ACC Network Friday night men's basketball double dip. Cameron Boozer and the number 6 Duke Blue Devils host the Sycamores of Indiana State at 7 Eastern. Then Caleb Wilson and 25 North Carolina hosts North Carolina Central at the Dean E. Smith Center. Both games available on the all-new ESPN app.
How about the game?
I watched Wilson last night. He is nice.
How about the game Caleb Wilson had against Kansas? 24, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Cameron Boozer put up 25 today. A couple of freshmen that are really, really talented.
Boozer's going to be a top 5 pick.
Caleb Wilson might too.
2nd down and 8. Ty Clark in the backfield. Virginia down to 2 timeouts remaining. Wake Forest has its full complement. And Ashford got back to the line of scrimmage barely. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down.
Tony Elliott wisely using his timeouts.
And he's going to burn one here. Virginia down by 7. They've won 7 consecutive games after their best start in 35 years. But right now, that winning streak in danger. If you're Wake Forest, you pointed it out, Roddy, a 6th win tonight makes them bowl eligible. That's huge for the program.
What an unbelievable job by Jake Dickert, just to have him in position where they need one more win for bowl eligibility here in the month of November. If they get this, it's surely the biggest win that they've had in years for this Wake Forest program. Jake Dickert bringing an energy, a different energy than what Dave Clawson had. Dave Clawson did such a great job for years building the foundation that Dickert's been able to build off of. But sometimes just an inflection of new energy can do wonders for a team. He's done a nice job in the transfer portal as well. And this is probably the biggest play of the Jake Dickert era so far.
Robbie Ashford at quarterback. He has had great discernment tonight. Gets it out quickly. Incomplete. Dropped by Ty Clark. So it's 4th and 8 with 2:39 to go. Clock stops.
And Mark, the drop stops the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, it saves Virginia that last time out. Robbie Zell calls a play that they probably complete 100 times out of 100 in practice. But the pressure of the situation, Robbie Ashford short arms the football. It comes out a little hot, a little low to Ty Clark. Incomplete pass. Now Virginia's going to have an eternity with the football and 1 timeout when they get the ball back. And the 2-minute timeout.
Cam Ross is on his own 35-yard line. He'll have a chance here. Made the first guy miss. Ross brought down at about the 42-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. Time now for our drive recap covered by Geico. There's an injury early here and a pivotal one, Roddy.
Yeah, Chandler Morris gets knocked out in the first half. That happened early in the 2nd quarter, but Daniel Kalen came in, long run, got them down inside the 5-yard line where they've had to settle for a field goal. But it's really the big punt return by Carlos Hernandez for Wake. The only touchdown scored in this game came off of that punt return.
They empty out the formation. Kalen into a tight window. What a catch by Taylor. Ended up picking up 8 yards. Out near midfield.
Man, how did he catch that?
Yeah. They've got 1 timeout remaining. Kalen checks it down again. Forward progress is going to be at about the 46. Taylor again. Picked up 4, 1st and 10.
I'll have the 2-minute timeout now.
Just hit the 2-minute timeout. So Virginia gets the benefit of that with just still 1 timeout remaining on this potentially historic night for Tony Elliott. Right now, down 7 when we come back.
Time now for the final 2 minutes, delivered by Factor.
Back in Charlottesville, here's what Tony Elliott had to say. Everyone's calling us cardiac Cavs, but really it's a mindset These guys believe they're just going to find a way to win right now on life support. Down by 7, under 2 minutes to go. The pass complete to a drain at the 40-yard line.
They've had a lot of success with those little spot routes, finding soft spots in the zone, and that's just fine if you're Daniel Kalen.
Picked up 6. Kalen going to run with it and brought down to the 39 by Loving. A 1-yard gain, setting up a 3rd down. They've got 1 timeout remaining.
He bobbled that ball, and that's the young quarterback. You'd like him to throw that away rather than taking a short gain with a run.
They hand it off, and a 1st down run. Taylor breaks through that initial line of tacklers. And a 1st down with 1:23 to go, an 11-yard scamper. We have an injured player back at the 40-yard line. The Birgabo.
Officials timeout for an injured player of the defense.
Well, the right side of this offensive line gets the blocks, but it's the defensive end that gets up the field, and then a great jump cut by Jamari Taylor.
Ooh.
But Gotkuth got up the field too far because he's anticipating it's a 2-minute drill. I'm going to rush the passer. Well, you run it right underneath them. How about the sweet feet, though, by the running back? I love a good jump cut.
Well, they got him as 20 carries, Roddy. Actually, no, that's 18. But it still worked out pretty well. He's got 98 yards rushing on the night. And turning to Mateen. Birgabo.
If you're Virginia, this gives you an opportunity to talk to the young quarterback. You cannot take a sack. And honestly, unless it's wide open and you're going to hit your head on the goalpost, you really don't want Danny Kalen running the football either. The reason for that is if you get tackled in bounds, you're either going to have to burn that last time out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or you're going to have the clock continue to run like it did on that last play. If it's not going to be a big gain, you'd rather him just throw the ball away, have the clock stop, and be able to regroup than have the scramble drill. But you certainly cannot take a sack in this situation, and you have to protect the football. Even on that scramble, that ball was loose a little bit in his lap.
Roddy, we were talking about a little bit. I'm surprised Wake Forest hasn't tried to heat up the young quarterback coming in cold.
I am, and as they get closer to the end zone, I would anticipate that happening a little bit more. A little bit more man coverage, a little bit tighter coverage, a little bit more pressure to speed up that quarterback's process.
Chandler Morris was knocked out of the football game in the 2nd quarter. Daniel Kalen on in relief, surveys, directing traffic, pulls it complete. Down to the 10-yard line, Ennis with his first catch of the night, and a big one with 1:10 to go. From the 12. Handed off to Taylor, and he's going to be stopped up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Under a minute to go.
There's plenty of time. You can get a 1st down, but you're not counting on that. You're thinking, we have 3 more plays to get this ball in the end zone. If we get tackled inside the 2, then we'll reevaluate.
Ross in motion. Pass complete again. It's Ennis, and he's brought down immediately.
Now you call your timeout.
Yeah, got to use it after that 3-yard gain, and that'll be the Cavaliers' last timeout.
3rd charge timeout.
Ball is going to be spotted at the 8-yard line. 3rd down coming up. They can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown.
The reminders, though, for your quarterback here. Number 1, no sacks. Cannot take a sack in this situation. Throw the ball away. You obviously have 2 downs to either get the 1st down or get the ball in the end zone. But also, for all the players catching the football, you get tackled in bounds, especially short of the sticks. It's got to be a hurry, almost a 2-play call situation to hurry up, get to the line of scrimmage, and snap it again. If you happen to get the 1st down, you've got a little bit more time, but you got to be on the football, running it quickly, probably with a spike if you get that 1st down.
3rd down and 7. Edgerrin lines up to the top of your screen. He's their tallest receiver at 6'3". Kalen out of the shotgun. Looks to his left, pulls. And it's caught right around the 5-yard line by Harris. Picked up 3. Clock running with 25 seconds to go.
The low throw there cost them. They've got to go.
No timeouts remaining. Kalen into the end zone, up for grabs. Incomplete for Harrison. Check that. And it's incomplete. And that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it for the Cavaliers. Webb, the guy that they've been picking on all night, broke it up and broke the hearts of the Cavalier fans.
There's really nowhere to go with that football, but Danny Kalen had to throw it somewhere. You got to give your receiver a chance. I mean, just look at the play by Webb, who sinks under that corner route. I mean, there's double coverage. There's nowhere to throw. You'd love Edrin to be able to go up and high point it, but Ladarius Webb is the first one to jump, first one in the air, knocks it away. But, Mark, you go back to that third down play. The low throw to Trell Harris is what cost him. Had that throw been higher, Harris has an opportunity to turn up the field and possibly get the first down. But the low throw by the sophomore is going to get Wake Forest eligible, bowl eligible, in Jake Dicker's first year. And boy, does it create some chaos for the ACC in terms of who's going to get to Charlotte.
Unbelievable, partner. That snaps Virginia's 7-game win streak. They had been living on the edge all season. This time, though, they ran out of their chances. Let's go down to Q.
Coach, how'd you pull that off?
It's these kids. It's called resiliency. Got a lot of respect for this Virginia team. We talked all week. They're prize fighters. But guess what? We can swing too. Our guys never flinched. We made just enough plays in the second half. We closed the door when we needed to on defense.
How would you describe the play of Robbie Ashford, your quarterback, in the fourth quarter?
That was a hell of a drive. It was gutsy, man. That kid's been at 4 schools in 4 years. He's given his place everything that he's gotten. He's been banged up. He's been a warrior. I'm just really proud of him. I'm proud of this whole team. I'm proud of Deeks everywhere. This is believing, and we're going to a bowl game.
I was going to say 6 wins, Coach. Congratulations.
No one thought we could do it. No one thought we could do it. These guys weren't out to prove anybody wrong. They were here to prove themselves right, and they did that tonight.
Congratulations, Coach.
Go Deeks.
Mark.
You talk about a big rebound and bounce back after losing last week against Florida State. Humiliated against the Seminoles, defeating the #1 team in the ACC tonight, the previously undefeated Virginia Cavaliers. NBA Countdown coming up next on ESPN, followed by Suns and Clippers. For Roddy Jones,